I'm going to mute everybody. Hi, buddy. Okay, Merrick's gonna do some blinking. You can stand there too.
Ready? Begin.
Blinking, working the muscles in your eyes. Whoa, McCoy, you are doing some planks right away. Okay, and then how do you do good morning stretches? Like good, like this. Good morning. Oh, with yawns for your face too? All right, thank you. Okay, you two go get some breakfast. Bye, sweeties. See you in a bit. All right. Good morning. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a couple deep breaths. Start to show up right here, right now. Feel the sensations in your body as we work to bring alignment, symmetry, balance, vitality, and health to your body. Taking out little tweaks that might have occurred from who knows what, golf, yard work, sleeping. Bring your hands either in the center of your body to prayer, or one on your chest and one on your belly. And start to take some really full, deep breaths. Taking this time each morning to be present with your body, present in this moment. Showing up with your friends in this community. Being the witness of your mind, your brain, and your body. And then release your hands down. Go ahead and start with your shoulder shrugs today. Arms down by your sides, sliding your shoulders up to your ears and then pressing them down. Slide them up and press down. Take it into a shoulder roll, up and forward and around. Letting the shoulder girdle move over your rib cage. And then backwards, up and back and around. Forward again, up and forward and around. Stronger elbows, glutes 50% engaged, belly 50% engaged. So that you have good stability through the lower legs. Drawing energy from your feet up into the core of your pelvis and back again. And then fold your fingers to your palms, bring your hands to your temples, thumbs pointed down. Feel your feet again, soft knees, elbows all the way together so they touch, glutes active all the way back with your arms and all the way together. Let's do 20 elbow curls today. And release your arms down. Fold your fingers to your palms. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Fire up your glutes. Arms out to the side. Circle forward, 40 circles. We do arm circles to create that little oscillation that fires up the deep postural muscles in your body. Aligns your shoulders so that the shoulder blade has to move out toward the armpit just a slight bit and the collarbones get wide. Go ahead and release them down and then up again, strong arms, strong elbows, and backwards for 40. We use arm circles to reduce rotation in the upper body, reduce rotation or elevation in your pelvis. Again, just getting those little spinal muscles, even inside muscles, psoas, lumbar erectors, all of those things that hold you vertical and balanced from the front to the back. We want that stability here. And release your arms. Good. I'm gonna steal this one from my sister-in-law. Arms up. Flex the wrist as much as you can. And then curl from the pinky down into a fist. And then rotate the hands around and then back up to that position, arms up. Pinky, each finger curling in, and then thumb towards the camera, and then dip and around. So that you're getting a good stretch on these muscles that would be tightening up when you're typing. Let's do another one. Curl, and then forward and around. Good. From here, hands here, fingers to the floor, fingers spread super wide, and then up and down. Let's do about 10 of these. Just working kind of like we work the muscles in the ankle and lower leg, and they get to slide and glide over each other. The same is true for wrists. Okay, hands and fists now. Keeping your palms up. Do those circles. Down and around. Elbows staying hugged in. Palms staying up to the sky. And then reverse. Good, again, fingers spread, and then just into prayer, hands going down, and then back of your hands together, elbows coming up. Just create a mild lengthening in the muscles of the forearm and that flexibility in the wrist. Good, now take that work, elbows out to the side, 30 degrees or so from the body, opening your arms up. Collarbones get wide, take a deep breath, ribs expanding in all directions in that full breath, bringing your hands to your belly and then open them back up. Just the arm bone is rotating. Let the shoulder be stable. Now, this is the most open position for the shoulder, so it may be hard for it to stabilize there, but I want you to do the best you can at keeping the shoulder blade stable while the arm bone does that rotation. If it's easy for you to step to the wall, you could do that. This is a place where if you have one shoulder that may be forward, that's changing what's happening in your entire torso, this is going to begin to undo that rotation, or the connection between the shoulder and the same hip, or the shoulder and the opposite hip, whatever the pattern of compensation that is happening in your body. This is beginning to take that out. Okay, then connect the arm bone into the shoulder blade. This time it goes up, the shoulder blade gets to come out to the outside of your body here. So bottom edge of the shoulder blade goes wide, shoulders lift slightly, and then back down. Take it up and down. Move with your breath. Two more. Excellent. Now, just take your feet a little bit wide and begin to just bend down into a bit of a squat on one side and then up and over to the other side. Just warming up your legs, maybe reaching down to touch the floor, up and over. Moving from side to side, the adductor on this side is going to open, lift, and lower. And lift, and lower. Warming up the muscles of your legs. Your quads are going to be super active here, but turn on your glutes. Make sure they're being part of this lift and lower. Whatever pace feels good to you to get the inside leg muscle to open, the quads to all turn on. And then over to the first side again. You're going to hold this in a little bit of a squat and then reach behind you. So right leg, if you're down into that side, reach behind you and pull this the right shoulder blade down and back away from you, opening the shoulders and taking a bit of a side bend. Then switch arms, take this top shoulder, pull the shoulder blade down, open up your neck and shoulder on that side. Then come up, bend into the opposite leg, coming down over to the side a bit. And then first, the same leg, pull that arm down, opening your shoulders, moving them down your back. Take 3 breaths. And then switch the grip. Now the top shoulder is pulling back and down, moving it away from your body, away from your ear, opening your neck, finding your breath. And then come up and go down into the middle, reaching to touch the floor, into a spread foot forward bend. Feet engaged on all 4 corners. Big toe down, pinky toe down, the arch between your toes lifted and active. The inner arch that goes from the big toe to the inner heel lifted and active, and also that outer arch on the outside along the base of the foot. See if you can pull the pinky toe towards your heel and lift that outer arch as well. Then hug your feet towards each other until you feel your inner thighs get really strong. That should give you freedom in the top. And then move your hands over to one side and take big full breaths into this whole side body as your ribs expand, as your shoulder opens. Breathe and hold. Second side, 3 breaths, fully in. Big, long, and slow, fully out. Fully in. Fully out. Fully in. Fully out. And to the center. And then reach back, interlace your fingers, open up your shoulders, again, wrapping them around you. Stay full in your back body, so take the vertebrae and try to push them apart. Push your shoulder blades apart with the breath in your back as your shoulder blades wrap around your rib cage. Those are opposite actions. And then use your butt muscles to lift you back up. And walk your feet back in. Arms out to the side, standing windmill, over to one side, and up, and over to the other side, and up. You could have soft knees, active glutes, lateral flexion of the spine, over to one side, open this side body, inhale, lift, exhale, over. Inhale, lift, exhale, over. Inhale, lift, exhale, over. Stay here. This time, take your hands, wrap them behind your head, take your elbows narrow towards your nose, and bend your knees almost like you're bending into a chair pose. So hips go back. Be a little bit in extension, so not tucked, not overextended, but neutral to slightly extended. And then from there, I want you to bend your knees and then lift your ribs to the sky as you straighten your legs up and then bring it back, center, other side. In breath, open the side ribs, elbows narrow toward your nose, and then down. In, so it's a squat with a rib lift and down, lift, and lower. This time stay over there, reach to the floor, push the side of your ribs way high to the sky, stay in that squat. Try to find your butt muscles and pull your butt down toward the floor while you lift your ribs up and out of this, and then come up. Hips come down, ribs lift, pull down to the floor, elbow narrow, neck opening, hold and breathe. And coming up. Then interlace your fingers, hands going over, feet planted, all the way up into an overhead extension. As your arms go up, your shoulder blades need to come around a little bit. Shoulders slide towards your ears slightly. Stable ribs. Find the gentle curve in your lower back and rounding in your upper back. And then go ahead and bring your ears over your shoulders and look up, lifting your chin. 3 more breaths. And release your arms. Have a seat on your chair. Grab your block and your strap. Placing your block between your knees. Put an arch in your back. So lean forward, feel your sit bones go down, and then come back to neutral. Find the place where you can sit in just a slight extended position, slight arch in your low back. And then once again, full and cylindrical around the rib cage. Make it expand in all directions. Hands in your lap, squeeze the block, squeeze and release. We're gonna bring some balance to your pelvis and perhaps your low back by finding these adductors, straightening the leg bone, making those inner thighs support the position of the leg bone and the hips in the hip socket. And you could feel if you have a different position of your sit bones on your chair. Squeeze and release. Just notice and see if you can match it up a little better. Squeeze, release. I'm gonna go all the way around, tuck your tailbone, go into full cat position, round here, and then sit all the way back up again to neutral, and then squeeze and release 20 more. There are a lot of reasons that the leg bone could feel different in the hip socket here. A labral tear, an old injury, a difference between the tightness of the right and left hip, rotation in your pelvis, a slight leg length discrepancy that is common. Any of those things could make it feel as you sit down like you're sitting differently on the two sit bones. And we would like them to be as even as possible. Okay, do that cat position one more time. This time, really think of sit bones squeezing toward your tailbone, rounding all the way at the bottom. You could even like start to go back. Your belly muscles should really be working full around. Squeeze both sides, and then come back up, back to neutral, last set. Squeeze, hold, find the muscles on the inside of your legs, release. Squeeze, release. And take the block away, grab your strap or your belt. And this time put both legs in, tighten that down so it's about fist width apart. Go the opposite way. Press out against that strap. Press, release. Press, release. Muscles that abduct or pull the legs apart are essentially TFL, outer hip, glutes into the IT band. They also will help the femur sit in the hip socket more correctly. And when we do deep squats, once you get to the place where you have to go past neutral, your knees really have to go out to the side. a little bit. So this would be the most stable position, like you're screwing your hip bones into the hip sockets as you're moving down into a bit of a squat. Press, release, feel it. What's happening on both sides? Is it even? Do you feel it in the same place? Okay, into that cat position, tailbone down, sit bones come together, low belly, turning on, holding you in that rounding, and then come back up to seated, full neutral. One more set, press, release, 20 more. Okay, now we're gonna press and hold. Keep constant pressure out on that strap or belt. Where is it in the sit bone or underneath the sit bones? Deep glutes. Find it, should get tired. If you start shaking, that would be a good thing. Press and hold. Okay, now keep that constant pressure there. I want you to sweep the floor with your fingers and then come up into a chair pose. Pulling out, neutral spine. Really active legs. And then can you come back down, sweep the floor, come back to seated. Again, sweep the floor, so hip hinge, then begin to come up, press out against that, find your glutes, reach to the sky, find your breath, hold, booty blaster, down, release. Again, sweep the floor, lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, pull out, 4, 3, 2, and stand all the way up. Go ahead and take that away. And set your chair or block to the side. Go ahead and take a wide stance on your mat. Turn your right toes to the front so that there's an even position. We're going to go into extended lateral and triangle and reverse warrior here. So find that position, toes gripping the floor, active arches, heel to the arch of your back foot in that straight line. Now, find where your body wants to be stable. The goal would be to get this front knee toward parallel. So you may need to move that back foot back a little more to get low. And then let's go front forearm to your front knee. And then fingers, palm up to the sky, fingers spread wide so that the entire forearm is active and the muscles of your upper arm are active as well. So not collapsed in your shoulder, but pressing up and into it so that the shoulder is stable, the arm is stable, and then bring this arm up and over. Let's take 5 breaths here. Fully in, big oxygen exchange, fully out. In, out, in, out. 2 more. And then bringing your arms up, Support your hand on your back hip, make space so that you can push up and out of this back as you come into reverse warrior. Let that be protective for your back. Big lift. 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. Fully in, fully out. Squeeze in and out. And then neutral. And then just scoot that back leg in just a bit so that you can straighten the front knee, come into Trikonasana, hand on your shin or to the inside or outside of your foot, or you're welcome to use your block. Big breaths, fully in, fully out. If you'd like to add a bind to this, you may, tucking that back hand back, opening the shoulder, wrapping it around, maybe grabbing your thigh or just holding onto your shirt. Use this to open up that top arm. Or you can stay here. Come on up and switch your feet. Again, you may need to move your back foot back a little bit as you deepen into that lunge position for extended lateral. Front knee directly over that front heel, and check where you can handle that front leg. Front forearm, palm up, fingers spread, and then stable in that shoulder, reaching this arm up and over. Squeeze your back foot and your front heel towards each other. Get strong muscular energy drawing in toward the midline. From that lift, get longer. Big breath, 3 more, fully in, fully out. In, out. Once more. And then come into reverse warrior, keeping that front knee bent, putting this supportive hand on your back, and lift up and out of that. 3 breaths here. And then coming up, move the back foot in just a bit, pressing that front knee straight, and then find where you can maintain good alignment in a triangle pose, hand on your shin or to the inside or outside of your foot. And then you decide again this top arm, if you'd like a bind to help open up that shoulder. 3 more breaths. And then come up out of it and onto your hands and knees. Round and arch, cats and dogs. Put that all together. Move between flexion and extension, however it feels good to you. And then come down onto your belly. We're going to take a small cobra. Bring your hands out, fingertips about nipple level, elbows slightly down, shoulders as you come up, moving down your back. Take whatever cobra feels just right for you. That might be quite small or pressing up a bit bigger. And coming down once more, coming into that lift, finding that extension, lengthening your belly, lengthening your psoas. and coming down. Then bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Come up onto your knees, so bending your feet. You're going to press up into a plank on your knees. From your knees, press them down into the floor. Begin to peel your pubic bone off the floor. Push wide, so almost like you're tucking your tailbone. Coming up, feel your abdominals engage all the way through, and then push your shoulders apart so that your shoulders are really stable, but not so much that they get round in the front. So still think collarbones wide, and just hold that position right there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, release. Again, bend your knees, get stable, then press your knees into the floor. That's going to turn on your hip flexors in a lengthened position. So engage them, then scoop your tailbone down, feel your low belly engage, pressing all the way up through each vertebra in your body, all of your abdominals working, shoulder blades stable, collarbones wide, 10 seconds. And release. We got one more of those. Find that stability once more. If you want, you could lengthen the lever and go all the way out to your toes this time. Tuck your toes way under and then press through your heels as you lift up into your plank. If knees feel better, stay at knees. And release it down and roll onto your back. Good work. We're going to move into your obliques. So now we've done transverse abdominis, some rectus abdominis, and go ahead and pull your knees up. We'll move into the obliques. I want you to let your knees go down to the side. It's also a rotation in your spine. Keeping your knees stacked, one right on top of the other as you go down. And then just as you hover over the floor or release into the floor, extend your top leg so that it goes long. And then bend the knee, use your obliques. So pull your hips and ribs towards each other to bring you back to neutral. And then taking it over to the other side. Knees coming down, feeling twists through your torso, shoulders staying rooted to the floor, knees staying together. And then reach that top leg out, pull it back in, pulling your hips and ribs towards each other. Bring that down a little bit. Same thing again, into table, take it over, hover, reach, lengthening the lever, bend, and pull it back up. Then over, breathe, lengthen the lever, bend, lift, over, reach, bend, and pull, over, reach, bend, and lift. And both feet on the floor, rock it back and forward, pelvic tilts. Then go ahead and put the bottom of your feet together. Allow your knees to drop out to the side. Interlace your fingers or keep your hands apart but shoulders wide at the collarbone, rooted on your back. letting your arms go over to touch the floor. As you do that, the shoulders get to slide towards your ears a little bit, and then back up, letting the shoulder blade wrap around toward the armpit, clearing the space in the top of the shoulder where there's often impingement if the shoulder blade doesn't move as much as we need it to. Over and up. Let's do 10 more of these. Reach and up. Two more. And then legs coming back in. Bring them both up into a table then and extend them to the sky. Point and flex 10 times. Getting the ankle to come into the lower leg into the knee. Keeping a slight arch in your low back. As you pull on your hamstrings, it's going to want to flatten your back, so you have to actively root your tailbone to the floor to keep a little bit of space in the lower back. Soften at your upper shoulders and neck, and then keep your toes in a point. Big circles out and around in the hip, up, out, and around. 10 of these. We're borrowing a little bit from Pilates, but I think it's great work from the whole leg into the pelvis, as long as you can maintain good stability in your belly and in your back. And reverse the direction. And then we're going to do ballet on the floor. Extend both legs out straight. I want you to bring your right leg up and out toward your shoulder. Your left leg is rooted to the floor. And now extend that leg. You can use your hand on the side of it to just give it a little support. Extend that leg up and as wide as you can. And then bring it back down. Slide it down the other leg. Switch sides. Bring it up and wide. And then extend the lever, point your toes, taking that leg out, in, and down. First side again. Lift it up, drawing the foot up the leg that's on the floor. Knee comes high toward the shoulder, and then extend. You can give that leg a little support if you need it. Down, release. Up and out. Down, release. Up, wide, down, release. One more. Excellent. Onto your belly. Fold your hands underneath your forehead. Feet start together. Then turn your leg so that, let's go left leg, turn the knee so that it's out to the side, and then lift that leg up and back behind you. Enough belly activation that you're stable through your core. Lift and hold that leg and bring it back down. 10 lifts, left leg first. Lift and lower with that slight turn out, slight bend at the knee, and strong and stable belly. Switch sides. Rotate the leg out, slight bend at the knee, lift and lower, finding those glute muscles with enough belly stability that as you go up, your back stays strong and doesn't just arch. And press up onto your hands and knees again. Once again, cats and dogs, round and arch. Put that all together. And have a seat. Go legs wide into a quadratus lumborum stretch. Tuck the hand under, open it up. Lift your ribs to the sky. Take a full and deep breath. This shoulder gets to slide toward your ear as you go over. Now stay on this side. Take your top arm and bring it behind you. Grab onto that wrist with the other side and roll that shoulder down and away from your ear. And give yourself a little more space in your neck. The whole shoulder wrapping toward your back. Strong legs, come on up. Second side. Take it under in a QL stretch. Open up the space between the hip and the ribs. Strong legs, tight thighs. Bringing that arm over, let the shoulder blade move out and toward the side, lifting the ribs to the sky. Find that space. And then take that arm back, turn the palm so it faces the wall behind you. Grab on with that wrist and then pull your arms away from you. Roll the shoulder back onto your back and make more space between your ear and your neck and your shoulder. And back up. Bring your legs a little bit in. Set up, collarbones wide for femur rotations. You can see my feet, there we go. Thighs tight, roll from the hip, out and in. 10 femur rotations. Wider again. And once more. Roll the femur in and out. Come onto your back, feet on the floor, knees bent. Feel your feet on the floor. Find the back side of your legs. Press your hips off the floor, lifting up and down 20 times. Shoulders tucked underneath you, nice arch in your neck. Lift and lower, getting that whole back side of your leg to support you. Find the glutes again.
When you get to 20, hold them up there. Just pull one knee in, keep the other leg on the floor, 10-second hold. Find some endurance in that hip. Then set it down, switch. And release. Both feet on the floor. 20 glute contractions in neutral. Slight curve in your low back, neutral pelvis. Squeeze and release your butt muscles 20 times. Then grab onto your block. Place it between your knees. 20 squeezes with the inside of your leg, just keeping your pelvis in neutral. And then go ahead and stretch both legs out straight on the floor. Do a couple femur rotations here. Root your thigh bones down, even so much that you have an arch in your back, and then scoop your tailbone so that you're in neutral. Feel your ribs on the floor. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. And then let your feet relax out to the side. Close your eyes and begin to focus on your breath. Spending a few moments in a mindfulness meditation allows the parasympathetic nervous system response to happen in your body. So parasympathetic nervous system is related to your sleep and the ability for your body to rest. It changes your hormones in a positive way because of the relationship between stress hormones and relaxing hormones, and allowing your body to heal in the most amazing way. So as you focus on your breathing, and just become your true self, show up as the witness. In this present moment, you maintain your senses. You can pick one of your senses and allow your focus to be there, or just let the focus drift. Come back to your breath if you need to. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to rest in this silence. if you have begun to go deep into this space and want to go deeper, I invite you to mute or turn off your computer and hang out here in this space for a while longer. If not, go ahead and bring some movement and breath back to your body. Know that the strength of this community, staying together even in isolation, has been super incredible. And that as a group who is working on our bodies to be better and better every day, we get to send that amazing energy out into the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Good work today.